Hi, everybody, and welcome back to YouTube. I am Danielle, better known as Danielle Happy Medium. Thank you very much for those who are my subscribers here on the channel. If you're coming across this video for the first time, then why not come on over, join the channel. It's all about mediumship development, all things spiritual, and it may just be what you're looking for. For those who are my return subscribers, although who are already subscribed to the channel, thanks very much. I've been away about a fortnight, but what a week I've had, fortnight I've had. It's been manic. I've got to be honest. It's been a busy 2 weeks. I'll give you that. Anyway, getting back to what you're all here to listen to. You're here to listen to me talk about different subject topics. And today's is all about astral traveling in the spirit world from one of my students who asks me lots and lots of questions, which I love. So today's session, we're going to talk about astral traveling, the spirit world. We're going to talk about the difference, what is it? How does that apply to development? If at all it applies to development, grab your cuppa. I've just got mine. Let's get into it and let's talk all about it. So, what is astral traveling? So, astral traveling is a connection to energy. So, as many of you may not know, we are all created with energy. So, everything within us is energy. The soul within us is connected to the spirit world, which is a formulation of a frequency or a vibration of energy. Anybody who's been watching my channel for some time will understand or have a little understanding of the mechanics that I use. They are very different to what is out in the industry, but I believe in their mechanics very much since they're given to me by the spirit world. And basically, when we think about astral traveling, what we're really saying is we're moving through the different altered states. Now, the altered states, the different brainwave matters or different frequencies of thought base, basically. So there's alpha, beta, theta, delta, gamma. You may want to do some research on them. They worked a lot in trance, but they are used in mental mediumship as well. They're also used in sitting in the power. So it is really a good topic to look at. And when we understand the brain waves, we understand a little bit more about what's going on. Now, astral traveling, you may have heard about out of body experiences. You may have heard where people have had near death experiences. This is sort of the same sort of thing. People may talk about dreaming of the spirit world. That's astral traveling. So, astral traveling is where the soul or the energy within us that is connected to home is still connected to the body, but its frequency is being called home. So it's the spirit world to me and you. And it moves through the different altered states. So basically, as we sleep, or if we do something that jumps us from there to there. So mediumship's a prime example, mental mediumship's a prime example of this. We move the mind from this world to the spirit world. That's a touch of what we call astral traveling. You're moving through different altered states. Astral traveling probably throws people a little bit. It's again that jargon that goes on in the industry that makes it sound, a lot more like not scientific, a lot more razzler dazzler than it needs to be. Basically, what people are saying is you've moved your mind to the spirit world, you've moved your awareness, you've moved your energy from one frequency to another. And some of it's done very quickly, where others is done at a pace. So, for example, when we're sleeping, move up and down the frequencies throughout different settings of the night of how we sleep. So some of us will go to sleep and stay on the same setting all night. Sometimes that's because of medication. It could be for other reasons, of the body, etc., etc. Most of us though move up and down these different frequencies throughout the night. Some of us are light sleepers, some of us are, sort of dark, like deeper sleepers, and then as we start, the body starts to work because the body never actually sleeps, so if you look at the medical background, when we go to bed, the body goes into autopilot, but it does never actually sleep. It doesn't actually sort of switch off. It sort of like goes in autopilot and it starts to like digest all food. This is where you need 6 to 8 hours. Now this is sort of a little off topic, but I'll get straight back to that topic. When we're overthinking or when we're not in a good place, the less sleep we get, the worse that is. And the reason for that is because the brain needs about 6 to 8 hours to reset itself. So when we're overthinking or when we're fearful or when we're panicked, it's important that you try to sleep as much as possible. Now, you may have heard this with people who aren't in a good place. They tend to sleep a lot more. That's the body's natural way of trying to get rid of the fear, the anxiety, the worrisome, the throughout the cellular structure of the body. So it's important as mediums and as in general ordinary people to try and get as much sleep as possible. Now I know that's not hard right now because everybody's like on like sort of the work mode. But where you can sleep, where you can, people say, "Oh well, I have a cat nap in the afternoon," and people go, "Hey, where I never sleep, or I never sleep through the day." That's because the body's naturally trying to get rid of something. So it could be getting rid of fear, it could be getting rid of an infection you have. The body is quite smart, and when it sleeps, what we do is regenerate. Now, for us women on the channel, more sleep you get, better it is for the wrinkles, better it is for collagen regrowth. So the less sleep you get, the more the cells die, and they die faster and quicker. So keep that in mind there. But anyway, sort of getting back to the astral traveling aspect of it. So basically, as we're sleeping, we're moving through these different sort of brainwave vibrational matters, and within them are the same as what we do for mediumship. So people who aren't, classed as mediums will often say, "Oh, well, I dreamt about my dad tonight," or, I'm sure I see my grandma in the spirit world." That's the natural connection of spirit, and this is where the idea that everybody has the ability to connect to the spirit world. Is the spirit world and the astral traveling connected? Yes. You have to use astral traveling, where you have to use the brainwave matters to get to the astral travel, to get to the spirit world, because it's the brainwaves, the thoughts, which is where we put the intention in, and then also the movement of the mind, which is what gets us the connection to the spirit world, which gets us the communications. So astral traveling isn't really anything sort of, you know, magical. It's basic scientific work that we do on a day-to-day basis for those who are watching this program, but watching this channel or whatever. The other aspect you want to look at with this is that with out-of-body experiences, it's exactly the same. So a lot of people say, "Oh well, I could see me floating above me." If any of you do remote viewing within your work of mediumship, that's exactly the same thing. That's exactly what they're talking about. Only it's done in the psychic parameter world, not in the spirit world. So remote viewing is done in spirit, but out of body is done in this world. So basically, we are remote viewing us from a height, or we could sort of be looking. Sometimes I've seen this when people are sitting in the power, they'll sort of be able to say, "Well, I can see myself sitting, Danielle. I can see myself sort of, as if like I'm looking down on me in the chair or on the bed or whatever." That's exactly what it is. All that is again a shift of the awareness. It's a shift of the brainwave matter, but that's more in the human world than it is connected to the spirit world. For those who talk about where they've had operations and such like things, or they've been in car crashes and they've seen their loved ones, it's exactly the same. What's happened is that you've been unconscious, the brain has naturally moved, or the energy has naturally moved to the altered states, and that's where we get the connection to spirit. This is where some people say, "Oh well, they told us I had to go back, Danielle, because it wasn't me time." That's exactly what's going on here. All of this basically means that you have moved your awareness, or your mind has shifted the thought-based matter to connect to the spirit world. And a lot of this is done through thought, which goes through the processes of what we do for mediumship on a day-to-day basis. Thought is what will get you to the spirit world. And I've talked about this on the channel loads, and I'll talk about it some more. The better in-framed mind you are when you're connecting will ultimately determine the outcome of your connection. If you are going to the spirit world with this fear-based, thought-based matter, then that's exactly what you're going to meet on the other side, because that's what you've lined up. Also, you're out of alignment because spirit actually doesn't work in that kind of vibration. So if you're trying to connect to the spirit world with this sort of, "I can't connect and I can't do this and this isn't working, blah, blah, blah," then that's going to be out of alignment. You see how you're sort of like half, which means you might touch the spirit world, but you might not quite make it, or you're going to drop away quite quickly. It's vitally important when you're doing any kind of, can you encourage astral traveling? Yeah. Of course, it's like encouraging mediumship. It's like encouraging, asking your loved ones to come around about you. Of course, it's I think a problem I find within the industry at large is that everybody's making it complicated. They're making it really hard. It's not meant to be this hard. When something is so natural as the spirit world and astral traveling and brainwaves and all that type of thing, it's become massively overcomplicated, and it's become very much jargoned and very much like these big words and look at this and I know what I'm talking about, and it's become so overly complicated, and it really doesn't need to be. Spirit is such a natural thing. Think, move, in. That's it. And as long as you know the difference between you versus them, you can never go for wrong. I say this to my students all the time. If you haven't put the intention in and you haven't said you're moving your mind to the spirit world, then you're sitting in your own energy. You haven't gone anywhere. You haven't done anything. And so for me, it's important to understand that astral travel and spirit is one and the same. It's just the frequency of changing of the awareness in which your brain waves are moving on. It's as simple as that. I hope this answers my students' question. If you have any questions that you want me to talk about, I have got some exciting news just to add a bit more to my work schedule, that you will be very interested in, as we continuously, as I evolve as an individual. I've decided to do more things with YouTube. So watch out for a brand new channel, and it's going to be really, really good. You're going to love that one. That will be coming up around about the second half of this year. Do keep an eye on that one there as well. But I wish you a beautiful day. Have a magical week. I will see you Friday. Thank you very much for your patience while I had myself a crazy fortnight. I look forward to seeing you all on Friday. Take care. Let me know how this resonates. Share with friends. Tell people about the channel. It really does help. And I will see you all Friday. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.